Hello everyone, in this video we are just going to interface common cathode 7 segment display with our 8051 microcontroller AT89S52. Let's get started. So initially I'm just going to build the Proteus simulation circuit first. I'm opening the Proteus design suite and then click on the schematic capture icon, and for selecting the components required, click on this components mode icon and then click on this pick devices icon. In this tab you just want to select the components required for your simulation. So for my simulation I am just going to choose the AT89C51 microcontroller. So as I mentioned in the previous lectures, the AT89S52 microcontroller that we are working on hardware is not available in this Proteus simulation software. So we are choosing the similar microcontroller AT89C51 for simulation. And we have selected the microcontroller. You can see the AT89C51 is selected. And for choosing the 7 segment display, just type in 7 seg. And you will find a number of 7 segment displays. In this you can see this 7 seg MPX1CA, which is nothing but the common anode type display. So in the last lecture of 7 segment working explained, we studied there are two types of 7 segment displays, right? Common anode and common cathode. So this is common anode type, and we are just going to use the common cathode type, that is CC over here. So I am just choosing this CC type. And that's all about the components required. I'm closing the tab. Now I'm placing the microcontroller right over here, and I'm placing the 7 segment display over here. So in the last lecture of 7 segment working, I explained to you the working principle of common cathode 7 segment display and common anode 7 segment display. So as per that, you can see this is the terminal A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H of this 7 segment display, and this is the common terminal. Since this is a common cathode display, to this common pin I am just going to connect ground. So you can find the ground by clicking on this terminals modes tab and then click on this ground. So you can find the ground over here, place the ground and connect it to the common pin. And regarding the terminal pins A to H, I am just going to connect to the port 1 of this microcontroller. That is nothing but P1.0 will be connected to A of the 7 segment display, and B of the 7 segment display I am just going to connect to P1.1, and C of the 7 segment display I am going to connect it to 1.2, and D is connected to 1.3, E is connected to 1.4, F is connected to 1.5, G is connected to 1.6, and finally H pin is connected to 1.7. So we are making the connections in this fashion. So that's all about the circuit required for simulation. Double click this microcontroller and change the clock frequency to 11.0592 megahertz and click on OK. That's all about the simulation circuit required. Now let's open the Keil IDE for start writing the programming. Now click on the project tab and select new microvision project, and go to the respective folder where you want to store the project files, and then give a name for your project. Then click on save. Here you just want to select the microcontroller that you are working on. Click on this drop down menu and select legacy device database, and in this search box type in the microcontroller name AT89S52. So here is our microcontroller. Click on this and click on OK. Now the microvision is prompting us whether it has to create the startup file for our microcontroller. Remember one thing, that our microcontroller 8089S52 does not require any startup file for running. So click on no. You can see the project pro has been created. Click on this plus icon, and in the source group you just want to create the source file for our project. Right click the source group and click on add new item to group source group 1. Here select C file.c and give a name as main. Remember that this is a user defined name, so you can give whatever name you want, but because this is a source file for this project, I am giving it as main, and then click on add. Now that we have created the source file for our project, we just want to add the header file for our microcontroller, where the definition of all the registers of our microcontroller has been done. So I hope you remember this header file 8089S52 that we created in the first lecture of interfacing LED with our 8051 microcontroller, and we kept on updating this header file till now. I am just going to add this header file again to my project. For adding that, right click this source group again and click on add existing files to group source group 1, and then go to the respective locations and click on this 8089S52 header file and click on add. Then close the window. Now you can see the header file has been successfully added to our project. Remember that we are not going to create this header file again and again in the future lectures. We are just going to update this same header that we wrote in the first lecture of interfacing LED with our 8051 microcontroller as per the requirement of registers in our future lectures. I am including this header file to my main.c as include of 8089S52.h, and below it I am just going to write the main function, and inside the main function I am just going to write the while of 1. You just want to remember that our program will be always having this main function, and inside this main function we will be having this while of 1. This will be found in almost all the embedded programs. There are two types of programming instructions available in our embedded programming, that is one-time executable segments, that is the configuration lines, will be done inside this int main or the main function, and the programming lines that needs to be executed again and again, that is the logic of our program that needs to be executed every time until the microcontroller is stopped, must be written inside this while of 1. So this is the difference between these two things. So initially I am just going to create a delay function over here in the top of the main function, void delay, and I am declaring a variable d, and inside again I am declaring another variable unsigned int of I, and here I am just going to use only one for loop, d I plus plus, and I am terminating this for loop. So this is just a loop delay. This is not an accurate delay, this is just an approximate delay. So we will see about the process of generating accurate delay using timer of this microcontroller in the future lectures. But for now, in our program, for generating approximate rough delays, we will be using this delay function. Now, I hope you remember these hexa values that we derived in the last lecture of 7-segment working explained. These are all the hexa values required for displaying numbers from 0 to 9 in this common cathode 7-segment display. So these hexa values are derived for common cathode display, right? So this 0x3f is the hexa value required for a port in a microcontroller for displaying number 0 in this common cathode display, and this 0x06 is the hexa value required for displaying 1, and 0x5b is required for displaying number 2, and similarly it goes on, and finally 0x6f is the hexa value for displaying number 9. Similarly, we did it for common anode display, right? So these are all the hexa values for common anode display. So this 0xC0 will display 0 in this common anode display, and similarly 0x90 will display 9 in this common anode display. You can see for the common pin of this common anode display, we are connecting positive power supply of 5 volt signal. So I am just copying all these 10 hexa values. Now initially I am making the port 1 0x00. That is nothing but I am just making all the pins of this port 1 0 initially. While entering the while of 1, I am just going to write my logic. Before that, I just want to explain you some of the things. If I write port 1 equal to 0x3f, that means this 7 segment display will display the number 0, right? Similarly, if I write port 1 equal to 0x06, my 7 segment that is connected to port 1 will display 1. And similarly, when I type port 1 equal to 0x6f, my 7 segment display will display the number 9. So remember that this is the logic that we are going to implement. So what I am going to do is, I am just going to scroll the numbers from 0 to 9 in this display with a rough delay for each of the numbers, and once it reaches the number 9, I am just going to repeat the same process starting from 0. So this is the logic that I am going to build. So for that, instead of writing all the separate hexa values one after the other to the port 1 with a delay, what I am going to do is, I am just going to declare an array named segment. So this segment is holding 10 values. So this array is holding 10 values, that is these hexa values. So now in this array you can see the 0th element is 0x3f, first element is 0x06, second element is 0x5b, third element is 0x4f, fourth element is 0x66, fifth element is 0x6d, sixth element is 7c, seventh element is 07, eighth element is 7f, and finally ninth element is 0x6f. So in an array of segment, these elements are stored in this fashion. So what I can do is, if I write port 1 equal to segment of 0, this 0x3f will be passed to the port 1, so that the 7 segment connected to port 1 will display the number 0. So the same thing happens here. You can see when I write port 1 equal to segment of 4, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this 0x66 will be written to this port 1. So the 7 segment connected to port 1 will display the number 4. So similarly, whatever the number you are writing over here from 0 to 9, the corresponding number will be printed on the 7 segment display. So remember one thing, these hexa values that is starting from 0x3f to 0x6f is applicable only if you make the 7 segment display connections in this fashion. That is, this A must be starting from port bit 0 and this H must be connected to 7th bit of the port. So if you connect the 7 segment display in this fashion only, this hexa values are applicable. So this is common for all the microcontrollers. If you take any 8-bit port of any microcontroller, if you connect this 7 segment display in this fashion, that is the 0th bit of the pin must be connected to A of the 7 segment display, and following that the 7th bit must be connected to the H of the 7 segment display. these hexa values are common. So now let's write down the logic. I'm just going to write a loop over here. I equal to 0, I less than 10, then I plus plus. And inside the loop I'm just writing port 1 equal to segment of I. After that I'm just giving a rough delay of 40,000. As I said, this is a very rough delay. We will be using this rough delay for implementing some of our features in our microcontroller. And after the completion of this loop, I'm just writing a condition. If I equal to 10, I will just make the I 0 again. So now I'm just going to declare this variable I. So now coming to our logic, you can see initially when the program enters this main function, the port 1 is made 0 initially. So all the pins of the port 1 will be in low state initially, and after when it enters into this while of 1, the program execution enters into this loop. The I is initialized to 0, and after initialization this condition is checked. If I is less than 10, yes, I is equal to 0, so 0 less than 10 is true. So the program execution enters into this loop, and now you can see the port 1 is assigned with the value segment of I. So in the first state we know that the I value is 0, so the segment of 0 will be passed to the port 1, which is nothing but 0x3f will be passed to the port 1, which is segment of 0. So the number 0 will be printed on the 7 segment display, and after passing that we are waiting here for a delay of 40,000 in a loop, and after that the execution comes over here and I will be incremented to 1. Again this condition is checked. Now also you can see the I value is 1, which is less than 10, so this condition is true. Again the program enters this loop, and now you can see the port 1 is assigned with the value segment of I. Now the I value is 1, so this 0x06, which is the segment of 1, is returned to the port 1. Now the number 1 will be displayed in the 7 segment display, and after that we are waiting here for a 40,000 delay. And after this delay, again you can see the I value is incremented to 2, and again the condition is checked. Now also you can see the 2 less than 10 is true, so the program enters the loop again. Now you can see the segment of 2, which is nothing but 0x5b, is returned to port 1. So the number 2 will be displayed in the 7 segment display, and we are waiting for the same delay 40,000. Similarly, it runs until the I value becomes 10, and the numbers from 0 to 9 will be displayed in the 7 segment display. And when it reaches the value 10, the program execution skips this loop or exits this loop and comes over here. What we have written here is simple. If the I value is 10, we are making the I value 0. So definitely you can see after the execution of this loop, this I value will become 10. So that is why I have written the condition like this. That is, if I value equal to 10, I am making the I value to be 0. If the I value is 0, again this loop will be executed. So the process continues from the beginning by printing 0 in the 7 segment display. So the numbers from 0 to 9 will be displayed on this 7 segment display with a rough delay of 40,000. And after the completion of one cycle from 0 to 9, again the process restarts from 0. So this is the logic that we are going to apply. I am just building the code. Double click this microcontroller for uploading the hex file. Click on this icon and go to the respective folder where you have stored the project files, and click on this hex file for uploading the hex file to the microcontroller, and then click on open. You can see the hex file has been uploaded to your microcontroller. Click on OK. Now when I play the simulation by clicking on the play button in the left bottom corner of the window, you can see the numbers from 0 to 9 is being printed on the 7 segment display. And when it reaches 9, you can see the process restarts and begins from 0. You can see this is the development board that I am going to use for demonstrating all the outputs that I get in my hardware. And here in my development board, you can see the ISP pinouts where you can connect the USB ASP programmer pinouts directly to this connector for programming this microcontroller or for uploading the hex file directly to this microcontroller. So the programmer that I am going to use is USB ASP programmer, and I am going to connect the pinouts of this programmer to my ISP programming lines available in my development board like this. And I am going to connect this USB ASP programmer to my PC through USB cable like this. And the other end of my USB ASP programmer, I am just going to connect that to the PC through USB cable. You can see the terminal connections of ISP programmer is this one. Reset is connected to reset pin of the ISP programmer, and clock is connected to clock, MISO to MISO, MOSI to MOSI, and VCC ground to the respective pins. So you can see all the pins are directly provided in my development board, or if you are not having a development board, you can also build the circuit in a breadboard for uploading the hex to your microcontroller like this. So this is the pinout of this USB ASP programmer. I just want to connect the MOSI to the pin 6 and MISO to pin 7 and clock to pin 8, as well as the reset pin must be also connected to the pin 9. Then the VCC must be connected to the pin 40 and ground must be connected to pin 20. In addition to this, you just want to provide a 11.0592 MHz crystal to this 18th and 19th pin of the microcontroller, and then you just want to pull this EA pin high so that you are indicating to the microcontroller that you are just going to use the internal ROM of the microcontroller. So using this circuit, you can also upload the hex file to this microcontroller even in breadboard. After the connection is done, open the program ISP software. The link for the software is provided in the description of this video. You can directly download it from there. Now you can see in this software, this program ISP icon is not highlighted. That means the programmer is not yet connected. Before that, you just want to choose the microcontroller that you are working on. So our microcontroller is AT89S52 that is being selected, but regardless of all the microcontrollers available, you just want to select the microcontroller that you are working on. So I am choosing AT89S52, and then now when I connect my USB ASP programmer USB cable to my PC, you can see this icon is highlighted, which means that the programmer is connected to the PC USB port. Now for uploading the flash or the hex file to this software, you just want to click on this file tab and click on load flash and go to the respective project folder where you have stored the project files, and there you can find the hex file inside this objects folder, and click on this hex file and click on open. Now you just want to check the required operations that needs to be done when you click on this auto button. So I need the microcontroller to be erased as well as program the flash to the microcontroller, and then after programming I want the flash to be verified. So these three are the operations that I need. So I am just leaving these three checked. Other than that, I am not checking any other checkbox. And remember one thing, that while programming, the power from the USB ASP programmer is sufficient for the microcontroller. So you need not connect any external 5V signal to the microcontroller for powering up. Now for uploading the hex file, just click on this auto button. Now you can see the hex file is being downloaded to your microcontroller AT89S52. And the programming has been done. Now build the circuit to see the output in the hardware. And here you can see this is the development board that I am going to use in my hardware, and this is the port 1 to which I am just going to connect one of the 7 segment displays. So all these 7 segment displays, all the 4 7 segment displays are multiplexed together, and all the A terminal of this display is provided over here. You can see this is the A, which is common for all these displays, and this B is common for all the 4, and similarly all the A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, or this DEC is known as H, and all these data terminals of the 7 segment display are made common for the purpose of multiplexing this 7 segment display, and that we will see in a separate lecture. For now we are just going to use only one display, that is this first display. So that is mentioned over here. So this 0 represents this digit 0, 1 represents this second digit, 2 for this second third digit, and this 3 is mentioned for this fourth digit. And regarding the common terminal of these 4 pins, they are given as per this circuit diagram. Let me explain in detail. That is, you can see the common terminal of this 4 7 segment displays are connected to collector of the NPN transistor, and the emitter of this transistor is connected to the ground. And so when I want to turn on a particular display, or when I want to connect a ground to the common terminal of this common cathode 7 segment display, I just want to provide a 5 volt signal to the corresponding base of the transistor. So if I want to turn on this display, or if I want to provide a ground for this common terminal of this common cathode display, I just want to provide a 5 volt signal for this 0th pin. If I want to turn on this second digit, I just want to give a 5 volt signal for this first pin. So since I'm using this 0th bit, that is this 7 segment display only, I'm just going to connect this 0th terminal to the 5 volt signal available in my development board. So I have provided ground for this 7 segment display digit 0, and regarding the other connections as per the circuit diagram, I am just going to connect this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H to the port pins P 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 and 1.7. So let me do that. And that's all about the circuit connections for now. And regarding this common terminal, if you are building this circuit in a breadboard, you can directly connect the common terminal of this 7 segment common cathode display to the ground of your circuit for normal functioning. Now that the circuit has been built with the schematics shown to you, let me just power up the development board with the help of 12 volt 1 ohms adapter through the power jack over here. I have connected the power jack to the adapter, and when I turn on the power, you can see the output in the hardware. That is, the 7 segment is displaying numbers from 0 to 9. See you in the next lecture. Thanks for watching.